Hey everyone! So in today's video I am joined by my lovely little cousin Emily, and today we are going to be filming a back to school hair and makeup tutorial for middle schoolers, or if you're in Canada, like grade 6, 7s, and 8s.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that middle school? I think so.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and take the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser Treatment, and this is in the Brightener shade. You don't really have to use concealer. I mean, you don't really have to use all of these products because they're not like necessities. Like, you could just kind of take a couple things from this video and just wear them. But if you want like a fuller face of makeup for middle school, especially for like the first day of school, if you want to like, you know, make an impression or whatever, these are just the things she's going to be using. So I thought I would just go ahead and show you what she wears. But quickly, I just want to say, don't feel like you have to wear all this or anything like that. Yeah. First off, I'm taking the concealer. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply a slight amount of this underneath her eyes just to make her look a little more awake, because she does kind of have dark circles, but she's a kid, so what do you expect? And then I'm just going to take this little sponge here. You can use a beauty blender, but I figure that most middle schoolers won't have a beauty blender, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this sponge to blend it all in. So as you can see, just that little bit of concealer just helped to brighten up her under eyes and make her eyes appear larger and more open. So now would be the time to go ahead and conceal any other blemishes you may have. If you have them, I mean, you might not because it's only middle school, but if you do, just go ahead and find a concealer from the drugstore and just go ahead and use that. But Emily doesn't have any, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of powder to her face just to set everything in and even out her skin tone a bit. So for this, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Wonder powder, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my Real Techniques powder brush to go ahead and apply a little bit of this to her face. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that under eye, especially the under eyes, because I put product there, and then just a little bit everywhere else. So now that that's done, I am going to move on to the part that I feel is the most important part for middle schoolers, and that would be to apply some blush. But today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush in the shade Plum Wine, along with my Sigma F50 Duo Fiber Brush to go ahead and apply a little bit of this. Now the thing I really like about this is it isn't a cream, but it's not a powder either. And I just think that like a more, like a wetter consistency blush is a lot better for somebody who's in middle school, just because it's not matte and it just like helps bring a lot of glow to your face, which I think is really important for younger kids. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this stippling brush, stipple it in the product a little bit, and then go ahead and just apply this to the apples of her cheek upward, just to make sure she has a really nice amount of color and just add a nice glow to her face. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to her brows. I know Emily is a brow enthusiast and she really likes to fill in her brows, but I don't think many people in middle school do, so I'm not going to. Instead, just to keep her brows tamed and in place, because she does have thicker brows, I'm just going to go ahead and use the Milani Clear Brow Shaping Gel and just add a little bit of this over her eyebrows just to keep them in place, like I said, and make sure they ain't looking too crazy or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead, shape them a little bit, and then this will even just make a difference to the whole look and just make you seem a little bit more put together. Okay, so now we're moving on to her eyes. The first thing I'm doing is taking the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Barely Branded, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of this to her eyelid just to add a nice base for the color I'm going to be putting over top. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take the NYX Single Eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Ultimatum, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of this to her eyelid just to set that last product in and add a little bit more shimmer. Okay, so instead of using the eyeliner, I'm going to go ahead and take this angled brush right here, along with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Bad to the Bronze, which just looks like this, and I'm going to go ahead and just dip my brush in there and smudge a little bit of this along her lash line. And I like this because it's not as harsh as eyeliner, but it does just add that nice depth to the eye to make your lashes appear a lot more bigger and to make your eyes seem a little bit more open. now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of mascara, which is the best and most important part. So this is just the Maybelline Big Eyes Mascara. It has a small one down here and a big one up here. So one for your top lashes and one for your bottom lashes. So I'm just going to go ahead, apply a little of this to the top and bottom, and then we will come back to do the lips. I am taking the Pixie Shea Butter Lip Balm in the shade Raspberry. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this on her lips just because it's a super pretty color, and it'll just add a nice sheen to her lips without being too over the top. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a super quick and cute, easy way to get your hair out of your face for back to school, because when you're going to write notes and stuff, and middle school is the time where you start doing a lot of notes, you don't want your hair like dragging on your paper, because I've been there and that's just really annoying. So I'm going to show you a super quick way how to get your hair out of your face but still keep it looking very cute and girly. So this hairstyle is super easy. All I'm going to go ahead and do is take about 2 inches of sew or hair like I've done here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just do a regular 3-strand braid. So now what you're going to want to do now that you have your regular braid done is just go ahead and hold this middle strand taut, and then take the 2 outside sections, gather them together, and then what you're going to want to do is take those 2 outside sections and just pull the hair up the middle strand. And then now you're going to have this little snakish looking braid here, and what you're going to do from here is just go ahead and kind of move it out a little bit so it's not so tight. So that's kind of how I like to do mine. You still do get the very snakish effect. And then what I'm going to do is just take a bobby pin and go ahead and pin this back. And then that is the final hairstyle. It's super cute. I think it's so cute, especially on Emily, and I like it with her highlights. I think it just adds a nice effect. Okay, so this is the completed look. I think it is super cute and super appropriate for middle schoolers, and I know she likes it a lot. She could be lying to me, but she says she really likes it. So yeah, I think she looks really cute, and I kind of wish I would have known these makeup techniques in middle school, because I wore nothing on my face and I didn't really know how to do my hair other than 2 little pigtails down here, and it was really embarrassing. So
it's okay.
Yeah. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. So Emily decided to go ahead and show you guys a close-up of the makeup and then turn to the side so they can see the hair. And that is the hair. Her hair doesn't really like holding bobby pins, so I probably should have used a clip. So the snake braid kind of is loosening up more than I wanted it to, but if you do have slippery, slidey hair like hers, just go ahead and use a more, like maybe like a barrette. I always know those hold better on slippery hair than bobby pins do. But yeah, that's the completed look.